Hi and welcome to this short video that aims to outline the effects of Attitude's move from print production to, principally, an online distribution model, how they have made the most of opportunities provided by the internet, and how they've negotiated the challenges that accompany global publishing in the digital age. At first glance, the online revolution looks as if it's had a wholly positive impact on the print industry. Access to the World Wide Web enables magazine makers to reach an ever larger global audience and to distribute stories unhindered around the world, and moreover to take advantage of the commercial opportunities that global readership potentially affords. Access too to automated advertising systems like websites also give producers a means to monetize that expanding global readership, enabling Attitude's owners, Stream Publishing, to transform the brand from a relatively small UK-based gay lifestyle magazine into a product that generates revenue on a worldwide scale. Attitude's readership stats clearly speak for themselves, with their online sites now reaching 1.7 million unique global readers per month. That compares to just 50,000 plus monthly print sales in the UK. Stream Publishing's use of online distributors like Newsstand, for example, have also allowed the digital version of the magazine to establish a more than healthy presence in over 120 countries. But the story is far more complex than this first appraisal, and as Curran and Seaton tell us, the transition to digital does not deliver unchecked benefits for all media companies. That companies with established and trusted brand identities, like Attitude, were able to negotiate the digital transition better than others. That their established relationships with advertisers, sponsors and story sources as a print product help them to monetize online content relatively quickly. But arguably, even Attitude have had to navigate a difficult course in the digital era. Online advertising revenues, for example, are much harder to realise than they were for old-school print magazines. Online media publishing might give producers access to global readerships, but the World Wide Web also generates significantly more competition for revenues, with an ever bigger range of producers, both big and small, chasing a limited number of potential advertisers. As a result, online titles like Attitude have to charge significantly less than they would for print ad space. Audience expectations, moreover, that online content is free to view, means that income from subscription or sales can't be generated either. PricewaterhouseCoopers, for example, estimates that digital revenues account for just 30% of the magazine industry's total income stream, and, more problematically, that magazines are struggling to recover from the shock of the COVID pandemic, with magazine producers experiencing falling ad incomes as a result of squeezed expenditures across the business world. Without a doubt, turning free-to-view webzines into a viable business requires mass audience consumption. The more readers you have, the more pay-per-clicks you can generate from reader engagement. Even more importantly, editorial content needs to be constantly updated so that readers have a reason to revisit your site on a regular basis. The end result is that magazine providers, if they are to compete in the global marketplace of the internet, have to provide a lot of new content while keeping production costs low. Producing more for less is hard. And for many online producers, the answer is to engage in what's called journalism, the publishing of stories that are easy to research and that require relatively little effort to manufacture. Attitude, for example, populates its editorial mix with lots of social media comment stories, a perfect example of a relatively low-cost journalistic production method, with social media feeds of celebrities providing a steady stream of information that can be quickly translated into webzine copy without the need for research interviews or costly investigative journalism. Celebrity social media feeds also provide Attitude with cheap, copyright-free imagery and video, further reducing production costs for stream publishing, whilst also offering audiences image-heavy layouts that readily appeal to online readers. In the hunt for global online mass readership, issues of circulation are also ever important. Attitude knows that its brand identity is its biggest asset and invests considerable effort in maintaining and circulating that brand identity to the worldwide LGBTQ+ community, using its social media presence to foster an ethical and socially engaged persona for the Attitude name tag. Their YouTube channel, for example, features emotive and candid lowdowns in their Real Bodies series that explores LGBTQ+ identity issues. A significant amount of time and effort is also injected into social media coverage of their annual Pride Awards and Streams Pride at Home Festival, which, Attitude tells us, has resulted in over 20 million views. Attitude's use of this kind of virtue signalling social media coverage helps to offset the damage that journalistic content produces, helping them to signal to their target audience that their core values as a niche magazine that champions gay rights hasn't changed. Virtual signalling content, Attitude further hope, is readily shared by their audiences on social media platforms, using what Henry Jenkins dubs the media flows of their readerships to construct awareness of the brand for relatively little financial cost. In conclusion, Attitude has had to carefully negotiate the contextual effects of the global digital revolution. Yes, they are able to affect a bigger global reach, and yes, they are using social media to circulate their brand identity. But the cost pressures associated with running a digital publishing business have required compromise, with, some might argue, the quality of their journalistic output suffering as a result.